Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be working on this 16 gauge finish nailer gun. This is model FN250C, and I was having an issue with this gun where you could hear air coming out from the trigger. So I went ahead and ordered the replacement trigger valve assembly and replaced it. Unfortunately, the gun was still having issues. There was now some air coming out through the back. After taking the gun apart and thoroughly cleaning all the internals, I put everything back together and the gun was working, but it was still losing air from the back. So I decided to look up a O-ring repair kit to repair all the O-rings that are on the inside of the main body. So I picked this kit from Amazon, part number 600872, and this kit is a complete O-ring kit to repair everything on the inside. This kit does not come with the trigger valve assembly that I had replaced earlier. I will provide a part number for that in the description if you guys need to replace that as well. These are all the O-rings that come with the kit. This one and this one has two of the same size O-ring. Now I have taken this gun apart previously, so I've seen all the little parts inside of it and I've put it back together successfully. It's not that complicated. I'm going over the instructions. You just have to be careful and gentle with some of these gaskets as they can break on you. It's only 33 steps to take care of this. I will be scanning this document and putting it in the description for you guys if you want to look over it or if you're interested in completing the same job. In addition to the O-ring repair kit, I'm also using a hex socket set along with a couple of 3/8 extensions, a 3/8 ratchet, a small Allen key, a set of picks, and a hammer. I'm going to start by removing these four 4mm hex screws, and that will release the top cap. When removing those 4 hex screws, keep in mind that the cap is under tension by the spring underneath it. I've now got my 4 hex screws out and I've got my top cap here. This is the gasket that goes in between the top cap and the rest of the body on the gun. The new kit came with a new one of these gaskets, so I'll be getting rid of this one and replacing it with a new one. There is a bit of air tool oil all over these parts, so you might want to grab a little microfiber towel and clean this stuff up so you don't make a mess everywhere. It is also important to keep in mind to not allow any dust or dirt to get inside of the tool. I'm going to start taking apart the top cap by removing the head valve and the head valve spring. This is being held in here by the tension from the gaskets, so to get it out of there, I just pry against it like this, working it around all the edges while being gentle, making sure not to damage the head valve. I got the head valve partially out, and again, I've just been using my pick to work the edges of it and get it to come out. Be very gentle. This is all plastic and it can easily get scratched up. If it gets scratched up, you won't get a seal anymore, even if you replace it with new seals. You can see one of the gaskets is being exposed now. That's what keeps the head valve in there. The head valve is now out. I was able to get it out of there working it with the pick, and while getting that out of there, the head valve sleeve also came out, and it came out that easily, more than likely due to the oil that was in the tool, which helped it slide up. If your head valve sleeve doesn't come out the way mine did, use your pick and work those edges, making sure not to damage the plastic, and it should come out the same way. I'm going to set apart my head valve sleeve as well as the top cap for now while I take the head valve apart and replace these gaskets. The head valve, the spring inside of it, and the top bumper have now been separated. To get these to separate, I just wiggled the top bumper and it let loose. What's holding it in there is the gasket inside of the head valve. The top bumper has a cylinder seal. This cylinder seal will not be getting replaced. The kit does come with a cylinder seal, but that cylinder seal that comes in the kit is for the piston. With the top cap fully disassembled, I'm now going to go ahead and replace the 2 O-rings on the head valve as well as the 2 O-rings on the head valve sleeve. Using my pick, I'm going to work both of those O-rings out, being careful not to scratch the surface. I've removed my 2 O-rings that were attached to the head valve, and looking at the instructions, the 2 O-rings that belong to the head valve are the G and P O-rings. Looking at my set of O-rings, it appears that this one and this one are the P and G O-rings. You can also try to match them up with the old O-rings that you pulled off the head valve, and you can also use the set of instructions that comes with the kit to match them up. These instructions were printed in 1:1 scale, so this drawing of the P O-ring is the exact size of that O-ring as well as the G O-ring. The G O-ring is the smaller one and the P O-ring is the bigger one. Before installing those O-rings, make sure to apply some of this O-ring lubricant to your new O-rings to ensure that they seal properly once installed. Both of the O-rings on the head valve have been replaced. I'm now going to move forward with replacing the O-rings on the head valve sleeve. Looking at the diagram here, the head valve sleeve uses 2 of the same O-rings. That would be letter F. Looking at my O-ring kit, it looks like these 2 right here are the letter F. With the kit, you get two matching pairs of O-rings. The bigger pair of O-rings are the F O-rings. You can confirm that by grabbing one of the O-rings and matching it up to the instructions. I removed both of the old O-rings and matched them up with the new ones and confirmed they are the right size. I'm going to use some of the O-ring lubricant, apply it to the O-rings, and reinstall them on the head valve sleeve. There is an additional gasket for the top cap that is not mentioned in the instructions, and that is for this gasket. That gasket is what creates the seal between the top cap and the exhaust port. To get to that gasket, you have to line up that pin with the opening here, and to get that pin to line up, you turn this exhaust port until that pin lines up with the opening. Once you line up the pin with the opening, you will see that the pin just starts sliding out on its own. Once you get that pin out of there, you should be able to separate both pieces. There is a shimmer, be careful not to lose that. And this is the gasket that came in the kit that is not mentioned in the instructions. Use your pick to work that out of there. There's the gasket. Looking at the gaskets that came with the O-ring kit, it's pretty easy to match them up, as that is the only one that looks like that. Using the O-ring lubricant, apply some around this O-ring and reinstall it back onto this cover. Make sure your new O-ring is fully seated, and now this is ready to be reassembled. The process to reassemble it is the opposite of the disassembly. I lined up the hole on the exhaust cover, and I've slid the pin back in through the opening and into the holes. I twisted the exhaust cap in the back to make sure that pin won't slide back out of there. It is now time to reassemble the head cap. To reassemble the top cap, start by inserting the head valve sleeve back into the top cap, making sure not to grab the edge of the gasket here, so when you're pushing down, push evenly, and make sure that the head valve sleeve is all the way down and bottoming out. Next is the top bumper. Remember, there is a steel ring here, and that needs to be pushed all the way down onto the top bumper. Next, you will notice that one of the splines on the top bumper sticks out more than the other ones. Make sure to line that spline up with the relief where this pin would normally slide out of. Once your top bumper is lined up, you can go ahead and push it down. Next is the valve spring. The valve spring is inserted into the top bumper, and the other end of the spring will rest on this relief on the head valve. With the spring inserted into the top bumper, you can now grab your head valve and push it into the head valve sleeve, making sure that the spring lines up with the relief on the other side of the head valve. It is a little bit tricky to get the head valve to push into the head valve sleeve, and the best way to get this in here is to make sure you're putting even pressure so that it doesn't tilt one way. Next is the top cap gasket that sits on the surface of the top cap. This right here is your top cap gasket. Before installing it, make sure that the surface of the top cap is clean. The top cap gasket is the same on both sides. When installing it, make sure to line up your holes. Once it's lined up, it'll fall right into place. I'm going to set the top cap apart for now, as that assembly is complete. Next, I'm going to remove the piston/driver sub-assembly along with the cylinder, lower bumper, bumper plate, and bulkhead. To get this out of here, just grab from the end and pull out towards you. It might be a little tricky to get this assembly out of there. Just wiggle it out gently and it should come out. That is what the inside of the gun looks like now. There is nothing left in there. Start by separating the bulkhead from the cylinder. The bulkhead is able to separate from the cylinder by sliding it up this way. The cylinder seal will also need to be removed in order to get the bulkhead out of there. Work the edges of the cylinder seal in order to get it out of there. A new cylinder seal was provided in the kit. Remove the piston/driver sub-assembly from the cylinder by sliding it out going this way. The piston seal and the O-ring behind it will need to be replaced. The piston seal has an opening here. Grab the edges of the seal and pull it off. With the piston seal removed, you can now see the O-ring attached to the piston/driver. Remove the O-ring attached to the piston/driver. From the O-ring kit, the smallest one left is the piston O-ring, and this white ring is the piston seal. Comparing them side by side, they appear to be the same size. The piston O-ring being letter O and the piston seal being letter N. Once the new piston O-ring is installed, you will notice that it is a little bit loose. That is actually normal, as it is the piston seal that picks up the slack. Reinstall the new piston seal. Up next is the check valve O-ring and the bulkhead internal O-ring on the cylinder. So that's going to be both of these O-rings right here on the cylinder, and those are the letter Q O-rings, so they're going to be the same. Looking at the remaining O-rings, it looks like these are the Q O-rings. Again, be careful when removing these O-rings so you don't damage the cylinder. The final O-ring left to replace is the one on the bulkhead. Following our instructions, it looks like that's going to be O-ring R. The R O-ring is the final and biggest O-ring in the kit. Matching up the old O-ring with the new one on the left, they appear to be the same size. The piston/driver subassembly, cylinder, lower bumper, bumper plate, and bulkhead are now ready to be reassembled. Make sure that all the O-rings have enough grease applied to them before reassembly. The lower bumper and the bumper plate may or may not have fallen off when removing the cylinder from the body of the gun. Start by placing the piston/driver subassembly back into the cylinder. Place the lower bumper onto the bottom of the cylinder. Place the bumper plate through the piston/driver subassembly and onto the bottom of the lower bumper. Now slide the piston/driver subassembly down the driver blade channel and into the nose piece. The head of the piston/driver subassembly will line up with the nose piece. The piston/driver subassembly will not slide all the way in. Reinstall the bulkhead by sliding it onto the cylinder. Keep even pressure on all sides to ensure it slides in evenly. Getting the bulkhead to sit back in there is probably one of the trickiest parts of this procedure, and that's because it's sealing against the piston and it's also sealing against the housing on the tool. So what I ended up doing to get it to seal in there evenly without crushing or damaging any of the new O-rings is put it on upside down and then put pressure from the top down evenly to get it to slide back in there. Next, grab your cylinder seal, letter T, and snap it onto the back of the cylinder. I've got the cylinder seal halfway in there. I applied a little bit of this grease onto the edges to help it slide onto the cylinder a little easier. Okay, we are now ready to reinstall the top cap. Just make sure that the holes on the top cap gasket are lining up properly. These two holes on the top cap line up with the bottom of the gun. I've now got all 4 of my screws started. I'm going to finish running them down. I would suggest running these down little by little in a crisscross pattern. Remember that top cap is spring loaded, so there's going to be tension when putting the screws back in. All 4 screws are now installed. There are no torque specs on these instructions. It just says to tighten screws snugly to prevent leaks, so I just tightened them down to what I thought was tight enough. Again, remember there's a gasket in between the top cap and the body of the gun, so they don't have to be extremely tight. I also noticed that these screws had some sort of blue Loctite on them, so if you guys want to go ahead and use some blue Loctite, you are welcome to. So that actually covers all the instructions for installing this O-ring kit. Now I'm also going to be showing you guys how to replace this trigger valve assembly. To get to the trigger valve assembly, you want to start by driving these 2 roll pins out. I like to use a small Allen key and a hammer. Be careful not to damage the head of the roll pin. I've got both of my roll pins out. The longer roll pin goes on the hole up top and the smaller roll pin goes on the hole at the bottom. You will also have to remove this pin right here that holds the trigger button. Be careful not to damage this little O-ring that comes out when you slide that pin out. There is one similar on this other pin right here. We do not have to remove this pin, just this one. That little O-ring will lock onto the head of this pin. You can now start removing your trigger button. You may have noticed that this metal tab was grabbing onto the head of this. It needs to be put back the same way it came out. This is a brand new trigger valve assembly, so it's going to be a little tricky to get it out. You can use a pick to help it come out. It's fine if it starts coming out in pieces like this. I'll show you guys how to reassemble it. Use a pick to keep working the rest of the trigger valve assembly out. This is what the trigger valve assembly looks like when it's disassembled. I would not suggest trying to repair this, especially if it's starting to leak out the front. They sell this assembly all together. It's pretty inexpensive, and I would suggest replacing the whole assembly. The reason is that these O-rings right here are made out of wax, and over time they start leaking. And even if you were to replace the black O-rings, it would still keep leaking from here. This is what the trigger valve assembly would look like if you bought it brand new. I'm going to go ahead and reassemble this and show you guys how to install it. To reinstall it, you literally just push it back into the hole where it belongs. Put your trigger back on, your roll pins, and the pin for the trigger, and that's it. Make sure to push it all the way down. The lip of the trigger valve assembly will sit flush against the surface of the gun. Now grab your trigger and reinstall it. Keep in mind that this metal tab has to sit on top of this. With the trigger valve assembly and the trigger reinstalled, it is now time to slide the pins back in. The trigger pin is held by this little O-ring. To reinstall it, just hit it on top of the pin, hold the pin firmly from the other end, and push the O-ring onto it. Reinstall the roll pins back onto the trigger valve assembly. Remember that the bigger roll pin goes on the top and the smaller one is on the bottom. Both the roll pins have been reinstalled. The O-ring kit has been installed. All that's left is to test the gun out. You can also disassemble this piece if you guys want to go ahead and clean it. It just uses 3 hex screws. There is no O-ring for this bottom piece, just a plastic gasket that it uses. Alright guys, so I'm actually going to end up taking this gun apart so I can show you what the inside of this looks like. Again, I would suggest taking it apart to do a thorough clean. We'll give you access to this part of the body. I've now got all 3 of the screws out of there, and this is the bottom cap. You will notice that there is a wave washer at the end of that bottom cap, and looking into the gun, the bottom of this plastic piece is where that wave washer will lock onto, and it also serves as a belt clip. There is also another plastic washer that also helps create that seal. This does have tabs on the inside of it, and those will locate onto the gun when installing, and they will hold in place. Make sure that this is thoroughly clean before putting it back together to avoid getting any contaminants in your gun and damaging your seals again. I got the gun put back together. I've got it hooked up with my air hose, and I actually had to end up taking it apart again because the piston / driver would come out but it would not go back in. So after taking it apart, I just made sure to evenly tighten this up to make sure that none of the O-rings were getting crushed on the way back in. After putting it all back together again, it was shooting properly, but you could still hear a little bit of air coming out through the front and a little bit coming out through the back. So what I did is I shot the gun a whole bunch of times onto this piece of wood. I don't have any nails going through it right now, and shooting it a bunch of times allowed all the seals in here to sit properly, and it's no longer leaking any air. I'm in here in my garage next to the HVAC unit, so you'll probably hear a little bit of that sound in the microphone, but I'll try to put the microphone as close as possible to the gun so you guys could hear there is no more air leaking out of this. The most common spots where these leak air out of is the trigger. If it's leaking air out of the trigger, you will have to replace your trigger valve assembly. If it's leaking air through the back, through the exhaust port, or through the front, then you will have to take it apart and install the O-ring kit to fix that issue. Okay, I'm now going to show you guys again. There's no nails loaded, it's empty. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped someone out. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I'm working on restoring a first-gen Camaro and doing an LS swap on a '94 Chevy pickup truck. Make sure to subscribe if you guys are interested. Peace.